Hey everyone, Salwete, I'm Merp here, welcoming you back for another episode of The Weekly Derivative, the series where we sift through the words that we use in our day-to-day lives and connect them to Latin and the ancient Romans. It's 2020, which here in the US means it's time for a census. A census is a survey of demographic information, but more importantly, it's a count of all of the people that currently reside in the country. This information is used to determine the allotment of public services like police and fire, or to figure out the distribution of tax funds on state and local levels. The impact of the census reaches all the way up to influence the democratic functioning of our government. For example, the number of electoral votes that are given to a region is decided using census data. The word census comes to us from Latin basically unchanged, except for the pronunciation. To a Roman, it would have been a census, as scholarly research suggests that there were no soft consonants in the Latin of the ancient Romans. So a C would always make a K sound, and never sound like an S. We can blame the Normans for that one. The first Roman census was ordered by the sixth king of Rome, Servius Tullius, probably around the 6th or 7th century BCE. It was used to divide the Roman citizens into distinct classes based on wealth. This way, each Roman citizen would know how much they needed to pay in taxes. If you were a Roman, you could expect a census every 5 years, compared to the US Census, which happens around every 10 years. While the Romans did not invent the idea of counting its citizens, it did establish a decentralized organization for that count that was pretty innovative and really shined as the number of citizens grew. The whole process was overseen by a censor, which was a much sought after position because of the power that it held. The censor was the only magistrate that could add or remove senators from the Senate. The censor's decisions were considered permanent and could not be undone except by another censor that follows him. This final, irrevocable power of decision making has led to the modern idea of censorship. So, the Romans provided us with a basic structure for our census, but that's not all that the Roman census has given to Western culture. So, think back to the popular story of Mary, Joseph, and the birth of their child, Jesus, right? It would have been very different without the Roman census. You see, Mary and Joseph lived in Roman-controlled Nazareth in the 1st century CE, when a census was being conducted. This meant that a pregnant Mary had to travel to Joseph's hometown of Bethlehem to be counted. So I won't spoil what happens next, but it's a pretty good story. Being counted seems mundane, but is so critically foundational to our democracy that it was first decreed in our Constitution. For 2020, the US Census Bureau has created a way to fill out your form online to encourage a more accurate and complete accounting. So, what are you waiting for? Go get counted! This has been another episode of The Weekly Derivative. I'm Merp, and remember, your words matter. Want to know what we're up to? Click subscribe to keep updated.